Alright people, I'm just doing this video to try and encourage people to lose a bit of fear with regards to COVID because I know everyone's in panic mode, well not everyone, a lot of people. And I'm just going to deal with what's happening here rather than emotions. I've got a graph here that's, well, a chart that's sourced from the University of Oxford. This is up to the 23rd of September. And where you've got the green line here, this is the number of cases of COVID. So this is when people started, getting diagnosed with it, getting colds, getting runny noses, whatnot. And then the blue line here we've got is the number of people admitted to hospital because of COVID. And then a bit behind that we have the red line here, which is the number of deaths attributed to COVID. And the yellow line here that appears around April. March is when the cases in the hospital, hospitalizations and deaths started to increase dramatically. And then around the 7th, 8th of April, the testing started. You know, you can call it that. So obviously here, it's quite severe. We all went into lockdown and it came under control around May, June time. And then everything started to decrease. Okay. So then around July, testing's picked up, and obviously more people get tested, more people are getting, yeah, you've got COVID, you've got COVID. But you've got to remember, while that's happening, the number of hospitalizations and the number of deaths are continuing to decrease. Now, we've come to the autumn season, time of year again when we get the runny noses and schools return, colleges, universities, and all bugs are thrown back into the mix. We have more people testing positive for COVID, massively going up. But you look at the lines of hospitalizations and deaths, they're still at the levels they were in June. Yeah, they're going up a little bit, but this is just in line with what happens at this time of year, every year throughout our history. So there's not really any need to panic about it. All this lockdowns, masks, it's all about control. While using the emotional fear surrounding COVID to bring about what people are calling the fourth industrial revolution, the green industrial revolution. Yeah, so it's a bit old tinfoil hatty. I get that people will say that, but this is what's actually happening, despite what the politicians are telling you. And people need to be looking at other scientists that are calling out what the scientists employed by the government are telling them. There's more to this than the government's got it right. The advisors to the government know what they're doing. We're assuming benevolent intentions from the advisors and no vested interest if you genuinely believe that. And there's a lot of evidence, with shares and things like that pointing to there's, interest in the people pushing this narrative and agenda to keep us all in a state of fear and ready to, launch a multi-billion-pound vaccine onto the global population, which somewhere someone's going to get very, very rich from. And people need to be really asking who, and then look at everything that brought COVID around and who was connected with it, and start connecting the dots. But yeah, drop the fear and keep an eye on the actual figures and what's actually happening around you, and don't swallow everything that the mainstream media's bullshitting you with. Anyway, leave it there. In a bit.